Hi everyone, Shai here. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome to another new video. When we think about dangerous things, we tend to think about guns or natural phenomena like tsunamis or earthquakes. However, there are far more dangerous things lurking on this earth of ours that we tend to forget. And we should never ever forget about them. From the heaviest naturally occurring element on the planet to the most powerful bomb ever detonated in human history. So, here are some of the most dangerous objects on Earth. Number 1. Fraser Island. The next time you book a sun and beach vacation, remember that not all beaches are the same, especially when it comes to security. In fact, some beaches are as deadly as they are beautiful, and there's one in particular that is the most dangerous of all. Fraser Island sits just off the southeastern coast of Queensland in Australia, and not only is it the largest sand island in the world, but also the most dangerous. Despite its aboriginal name K'gari, meaning paradise, it is not a beach you go to if you want to relax. This area is home to pretty much everything you want to avoid if you're trying to stay alive. In fact, rescue helicopters frequently fly into the area to save visitors plagued by medical emergencies. First of all, the island is one of the favorite places for young great white sharks. However, it's not only known for shark attacks but also dingo attacks. Dingoes are a breed of wild dog native to Australia, and like any wild and undomesticated predator, they can be extremely dangerous to humans. But as if those two creatures weren't enough, Fraser is also home to stinger jellyfish, including the Urukandji jellyfish and the blue bottle jellyfish. Bites from these two species of tentacles will require medical attention, which cannot be found on the island. The ocean itself is known for being exceptionally rough and for its powerful tides. Since there are no lifeguards patrolling Fraser and no warning flags, tourists often take a dip and are unable to return to shore. Number 2. Brazilian Snake Island. There's an island less than 100 kilometers from the beaches of Sao Paulo in Brazil where there's more than one snake for every square meter. Their poison is lethal in 93% of cases and can end the life of the victim in less than an hour, even after receiving the appropriate and specific treatment. The snake in question is the golden lancehead viper, which is endemic to the island of Queimada Grande, also known as Snake Island. It's a 430,000 square meter piece of land that broke off from the mainland 11,000 years ago. Since then, snakes have reigned in the enclave, where it's estimated that there are between 2,000 and 4,000 specimens. The lack of mammals on the island forced these reptiles to learn to climb trees to reach the migratory birds that rest there. Initially, the birds escaped from the snakes that bit them, but the snakes developed an increasingly lethal venom in order to catch their prey more easily. In fact, the current venom is 5 times stronger than that of other viperids, one of the strongest, making them one of the most poisonous families of snake in the world. The substance created by this species is capable of melting human flesh, or almost instantly causing necrosis of the affected tissues, kidney failure, and brain and intestinal hemorrhage. Number 3. Chernobyl's elephant's foot. The elephant's foot is a large mass of black corium made up of many layers, externally resembling tree bark or glass. It was formed during the Chernobyl disaster in April 1986 and discovered in December 1986. It's named like that for its wrinkled appearance, resembling an elephant's foot. It's located under reactor number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, below reactor hall 217. The elephant's foot is composed primarily of silicon dioxide, the main compound of sand and glass, with trace amounts of uranium. At the time of its discovery, radioactivity near the elephant's foot amounted to about 10,000 roentgens or 100 grays per hour, delivering a 50-54.5 gray lethal dose in less than 3 minutes. In other words, this thing could kill you, melting your innards just by looking at it from a distance. Since then, the intensity of the radiation has decreased, but it's still incredibly dangerous. The elephant's foot had traversed at least 6 feet, 7 inches of concrete to reach its current location. There was concern that the product would continue to penetrate deeper into the soil and come into contact with groundwater, thus contaminating the region's drinking water and causing illness and death. However, as of 2019, the mass hasn't moved much since its discovery and is estimated to be only slightly warmer than its surroundings due to heat given off by ongoing nuclear decay. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. Bolivia's Death Road. The Old Road to the Yungas, also known as the Death Road, is a cycling route of approximately 80 kilometers in length linking the city of La Paz with the municipality of Coroico in the Los Yungas region to the northeast of the department. before the construction of the Cotapada-Santa Barbara section. This section of the road was part of Route 3 on the fundamental road network of Bolivia. Currently, its use is reserved for cycling. This road is infamous for its extreme danger and the number of deaths and traffic accidents per year, an average of 209 accidents and 96 people killed per year. In 1995, the Inter-American Development Bank named it the most dangerous road in the world. The characteristics of the route have made it a very frequent tourist destination. Part of this highway was built with the labor of Paraguayan prisoners during the Chaco War in the 1930s. It was part of one of the few routes that connect the Amazon jungle in the north of the country with the city of La Paz. Due to its steep slopes, with just one lane with a width of 3 meters in some places, and the lack of guardrails, this road became extremely dangerous. In addition, rain and fog are common in the area, which significantly reduces visibility, with muddy ground and loose stones falling from the mountains. Number 5. Venezuela. South America experienced in 2020 the second largest deterioration by region in its levels of global peace after North America, with Venezuela as the least peaceful country in the area and one of the most dangerous in the world, according to the report by the Institute of Economics and Peace. Last year's increased political terrorism is the main cause of this fact, which led to widespread violations of civil and political rights alongside high levels of corruption and government repression. Venezuela reported 16,506 violent deaths in 2019. Of this figure, there are 6,538 homicides committed by the common underworld, which represents 24 victims per 100,000 inhabitants. There are 5,282 deaths due to resistance to authority, representing 19 deaths per 100,000 inhabitants. However, it did register improvements in its homicide rate, and there was a drop in the number of deaths as a result of the internal conflict. However, for years now, Caracas, the capital city of Venezuela, has been considered the most dangerous city in the world. Number 6. Viruses. Viruses are even smaller than bacteria and need living hosts, such as humans, plants, or animals, to multiply, otherwise they cannot survive. When a virus enters the body, it invades some of the cells, takes over the cellular machinery, and redirects it to produce the virus. The coronavirus does exactly the same thing. But this virus is not the only one that has a sense of aggression and multiplication. There are also other lethal viruses, and in several cases, there's no vaccine. The Ebola outbreak that occurred between 2014 and 2016 left 28,000 infected and 11,300 people dead. It attacks cells of the immune system circulating in the blood, colonizes the blood system, and penetrates the liver, kidneys, and lungs. The virus hepatitis B is estimated to kill 780,000 people annually. It is an acute viral illness transmitted through blood, saliva, or semen. It tends to be chronic, and its symptoms include jaundice. It causes a chronic infection of the liver that can lead to cirrhosis or cancer. Rotavirus is one of the main causes of childhood diarrhea. It's also one of the leading causes of death among children in underdeveloped countries, killing some 760,000 patients annually. Around 37.9 million people were living with HIV worldwide in 2018. And an estimated 770,000 people died from AIDS-related illnesses in 2018. It attacks and destroys a type of white blood cell, the CD4 cell, also called a T cell. Their job is to fight disease, but HIV uses proteins in the cell to make a copy of itself and then kills the cell. This can last 10 years or more without you having any symptoms. And these are just a few. There are hundreds of deadly viruses out there. Take care of yourself. Number 7. Deadly Nightshade. Atropa belladonna, commonly known as deadly nightshade, contains a small amount of an alkaloid called scopolamine, which is very toxic. To get an idea of the danger of alkaloids in general, suffice it to say cocaine, amphetamine, heroin, and morphine are also alkaloids. When a person gets nightshade poisoning, the first symptoms that appear quickly are dilation of the pupils and a sensation of dryness in the throat and mouth, which becomes very painful because it's followed by thirst, itching, and constriction until it makes swallowing food, fluids, and even saliva impossible. This is accompanied by dry skin and decreased secretions from the larynx and bronchi, thus explaining the hoarse voice of those intoxicated by belladonna. The victim shows signs of dizziness and lack of eyesight. There's almost never a lack of hallucinatory delirium, generally of a terrifying nature. The patient sees fires, bloody scenes with horrific screams, and is prey to extraordinary agitation. They jump, dance, and indulge in wild movements. The face is lost, and there are frequent skin rashes that are attributed to circulatory disorders. Finally, in very serious or fatal cases, coma occurs until the patient dies. So, that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this time stamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.